All right, welcome to the January 14th weekly community lunchtime update. We are so glad you're here and joining us today. Just up front, we have several updates and topics that may take us just a little bit longer today, so we hope that you can stay on with us as it will be well worth your time. And as we start all of our meetings with some MISD proud moments, I have a few to share today. Last Friday, I got to spend some time at the Jenkins Early Learning Center. This is such a wonderful benefit we provide our teachers and staff in Midlothian ISD, and Miss Glenda, who's the director at the Early Learning Center, was able to tell me all the names of our little friends, and it was so awesome to see our MISD family members, precious babies, as they were at their own little school on Friday. So just a shout out to say we're so proud of Miss Glenda and her team as they take care of our teachers and our staff members' kiddos each and every day. The Mile Bistro is actually a student-run bistro over at the Mile, and they are beginning to prep and plan for a soft opening of curbside deliveries. And you'll be hearing more about those in the coming weeks, but it'll eventually be opened up to the public. I got to hear all about menu items such as chicken Alfredo and a Texas-sized barbecue burger. So be on the lookout for more information regarding our student-run bistro at the Mile. The Mile has also been featured in a recent paper. We are excited to say Veridesk is who sponsored the furniture company that supplied all their flexible walls and workspaces, and they actually have written an article and a paper on them, and so we'll be sharing that out with our community soon. So congratulations to the staff at the Mile on the spotlight. Just a shout out to our MISD librarians, and we have some amazing fall 2020 statistics coming out of our library media services. We're MISD proud to share that over 36,000 physical books were circulated in the fall and over 5,000 ebooks circulated. We appreciate our library media specialists and their continued support to teaching and learning. Our librarians continue to serve our students during this time, and they work to partner with our teachers to foster that love to read. As quoted by literacy professor and author Dr. Frank Serafini, there's no such thing as a child who doesn't like to read. Rather, there are only children who have not found the right book. So we ask you to encourage your child to check out the books from the school library. There are so many great options, and the librarians are willing and able to help them find something that they'd love to read about. Yesterday, our district had the honor to provide a State of the District presentation at the Midlothian Chamber of Commerce Luncheon. It truly made us MISD proud to engage with our community stakeholders and unite together on how best to support our staff in MISD. You can access this presentation at the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. They streamed it live, and so there should be a recording there. Also across the district, the Great Kindness Challenge has kicked off at several schools this week. This is just one way we continue to highlight that our actions and words matter, and so we encourage you to watch Facebook and Twitter under MISD Proud, and you will see several of the campuses engaging in the Great Kindness Challenge. This week, we've also celebrated the National School Resource Officer Day. Our SROs work day in and day out, keeping our schools safe and secure, but at the same time, creating positive relationships with students and staff. So let's take a moment to say thank you. And if you have a chance, see your child's campus SRO and tell them thank you. So now some agenda items. The naming committee for elementary number 8, which is scheduled to open in August of 2022 on the corner of Hawkins Run and 14th Street. That naming committee met for the first time last week. That committee follows CW local policy, and they will be launching the website in the coming days and weeks that will allow you to submit a name nomination for a naming of elementary number 8. More information will be coming on this topic, but the goal is for this committee to take nomination names to the school board at the May 17th board meeting. I want to share some recent COVID statistics and updates for MISD with you today. The City of Midlothian Emergency Management Department will help coordinate with MISD as vaccines become available for our staff. This process is aligned directly to the state's distribution plans for counties in the state of Texas. So we appreciate our partnership with the city as they continue to work to give us those access to those voluntary vaccines as they become available. As of today, we only have one campus in MISD that's at 1.08% of active cases. All of our other campuses are below 1% of active cases. And as a district, we are currently at 0.6% active cases. We continue to see a single-digit number of new cases each day, which is much better than the double-digit days we were seeing back in November. So thank you for your continued support, parents and community, of our COVID-19 protocols. We are trending along with the state data that TEA collects each week from districts across the state. This data supports that the spread of COVID-19 in schools is remaining low. And just as a reminder, we update our COVID dashboard each weekday afternoon between 4 and 5 p.m. It's a great resource for our community to monitor active cases in MISD as a whole. We had a board workshop last Monday night. We had several topics to discuss. One of the topics discussed was academic progress and assessments, and the Department of Learning's plans and the work to streamline assessment efforts for efficiency and effectiveness, along with gathering valuable data so that they can inform instruction and help our students be successful. If you'd like to see and hear the presentation and discussion, you may access the board meeting recording on our school board website at any time. The board also continued discussions on additional monetary support for our staff. They're very invested in supporting teachers and staff in every possible way during such a time as this. They agreed to hold a public hearing at the February board meeting, and then they can seek action on providing additional appreciation supplemental pay for staff. Our board also had a discussion regarding the superintendent search firm proposals received in the RFP process. That process closed last Friday, and they received 6 search committee submissions, 4 in-state and 2 out-of-state, and the board will come back to this item as a possible action item next Tuesday at the regular monthly meeting. And also from last Monday night, while enrollment has leveled off some this year, the residential growth continues to boom with new developments in all areas of the school district. We're always on the lookout for future school sites. And this past Monday night, the board approved moving forward with negotiations on 4 pieces of land that would accommodate future school sites. Being able to acquire additional land sites allows for a proactive approach to growth management. This upcoming Tuesday, we actually have our monthly regular board meeting, and just a few agenda topics that might interest you to tune in online or to come in person and join us. It is School Board Appreciation Month, so we will take a moment to publicly and formally recognize our amazing board members and the dedication that they have to the job that they do for us and really helping us navigate school every day. We will also have an update from the Empowered Device Refresh from our MTAC committee. They're going to be coming to the board to discuss recommendations as we are approaching the end of our 4th year in our devices, one-to-one devices. There will also be an update on the Attendance Boundary and Zoning Committee. They met for the 2nd time last night, and they're working through, heard a report from the demographer, and so they'll be having an update at the board meeting as well. Speaking of a demographer, Brent Alexander is our demographer that we use, and he will be giving the 3rd quarter 2020 update. It's got a lot of great information, so I would encourage you to tune in and watch that as you see our community grow. They're also going to consider naming a superintendent search firm, and then also consider the recommendation for an MHS principal candidate. So a lot going on Tuesday night. We hope you can join in. Speaking of MHS principal search update, I did want to bring an update from HR and the committee process. I wanted to share on that search process. Over the last 2 weeks, they've interviewed multiple candidates for the MHS principal position. That interview panel included MHS teachers, MHS parents, campus administrative staff, as well as district administrators. So we look forward to them bringing a recommendation to the board on Tuesday for that position, and then be able to announce a timeline and a meet and greet opportunity for that individual to begin. As far as the 21-22 school calendar, the survey's results have come in. Thank you for those that were a part of that. The HR and Student Services Department has been compiling those. There were 3 draft calendars presented, and they will be brought to the board on Tuesday night to review the data from those survey submissions. So look forward to that as an information only item this month and an action item at the February regular meeting. Last week, we sent out a thought exchange to gather feedback from you and our community on areas you'd like to see and know more about as we have our community updates each week. We had over 100 different thoughts presented and over 2,000 ratings, and the highest rated themes generated include student academic and social emotional progress and curriculum in a COVID world, course offerings and pathways for students in MISD, COVID updates just in general, supporting teachers in a COVID learning environment, diversity, equity, inclusion, planning for the new school year, and then the superintendent search updates. Your input and the themes generated will help us over the next few weeks and months as we bring you a series on The More You Know. You probably remember seeing these types of public service announcements over the years, but we want to bring you district information that is greatly beneficial to you as parents. Today's The More You Know is brought to you by Department of Learning, and Shelley Blaylock, our new Senior Executive Director of C&I, is joining us today. When you think about career and technical course offerings and pathways, we often think of just high school students. Really, these conversations should be happening with our students all along their educational journey, as students as young as pre-K begin talking about careers. So Mrs. Blaylock is going to bring you some really robust information today regarding CTE and course offerings in MISD. And as I mentioned, this information is good for all grades and can equip our parents and our teachers with a myriad of resources to engage in conversations with students about their passions and courses that might help them explore those passions. So Mrs. Blaylock, welcome.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, MISD. It is hard to believe that it is already time to start thinking about the 21-22 school year. At secondary campuses, we are already in process of talking to students about the courses that they want to take and their career passions for the future as they begin to build schedules for next school year. We have a robust amount of resources, and I want to share some of these tools and resources with you because it can also be very helpful with you in talking to students all the way down to elementary school about what their future looks like. And yes, they're ready to start talking about it as they're dreaming about careers. So let me walk you through all of the tools that we now have on our MISD website as I share my screen with you. And you'll be able to access them yourself and really utilize that to have conversations with students. So if we go to our homepage and you access our student life page, our very first link now is 21-22 course selection. And although that sounds very high school like, it is also very much important for our elementary and middle school students. So on this page, you'll be able to find a really nice introductory video for all of our resources from one of our own high school students. But over here on the right side of our page are many tools that will be beneficial to you. So if I click on Courseware on Demand, this takes us to our landing page for all of our course decks for high school and middle school. This was also shared out with parents and students. And so what that looks like is, here's an example of the Walnut Grove Middle School parent presentation. And it really helps our parents become familiar with what school at middle school looks like, what courses are offered, and has a wealth of information. Even our fifth grade students received this recently. We also have an example from Midlothian High School slide deck. And I have to say, I, as a parent, would love to have received something like this to help me help my student and guide them through the selection process. This is probably the most comprehensive collection that really shows everything that we offer for students. So in this one, you can see there's a table of contents. These are all hot links, so you can click right to your area of interest. We highlight some of the courses that we are really seeing if students are interested in this year, like junior ROTC. We're also seeing if maybe students are interested in taking an ethnic studies class and Mexican American studies, as well as ethnic studies and African American studies. Then, like this one, clicks right into fine arts electives. So as our high school and middle school students are starting to make those course selections, we want you to be able to get a wealth of information. In addition, you can find the academic planning guide, and this guide really gives you the intense details about what a course offers, how many credit hours it is, and what area it would fall under. So utilize all of those pieces. As we go back to the page, another piece that's really important here when you're talking to your students or your children is, let's say that your child expresses an interest in aerospace engineering, and you're wondering, what do we offer in Midlothian ISD to help your children? So if you click over here on career and technical education, this page gives you a very nice overview of all of the pathways that students can receive support in, interest in, and we offer courses in all of these areas. So if I click on aerospace engineering, I can then access a slide that shows me exactly what this course would entail. It gives me information about careers and in that pathway. And then it also gives a suggested course sequence so that as students begin to envision what their career could look like, they know exactly what would be expected of them and what classes to register for. So as I take you back to the homepage, just know that there is a wealth of resources. We also have a wealth of experts in both our staff and students. And I look forward to bringing you some of those student experts in the near future to talk to you about why they've chosen their pathways. Have a great day.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Blaylock, for sharing that. And that is all we have today for our community update. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Thank you.